Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Thirsty Thursday! And look at who's all showing up. It's good to have you all here. Thank you for being here, by the way. It doesn't go by me unnoticed. I notice when you show up. It makes me feel happy because we're here together. Right, Flynn? Right, Trisha? Hello. Good to have you here. Who's hot melt 30ing? Let's see some hashtag-aroos. There it is. Patsy's in, the first one in there to do it all. Hi, Martha. Good to have you here. Hot melt 30 is going great. It is day 3 for hot melt 30. If you're doing it with us, everybody always starts out so hot and going and posting all over the place, and then all of a sudden, I have a challenge for you. Let's keep it going on day 25, just as much as day 1 and day 2. What do you think? Okay, Simply Blessed. That's Sandra, correct? Sandy, there it is. I knew it. Hi, Sandy. I'm glad you're here. Alice is in the house as well. And I'm telling, and Sandy's doing the hot melt. We're all doing the hot melt 30. I put my pictures up there too. Somebody said, "Oh, I'm so glad to see you're doing it with us." Yes, I'm doing it with you. It's my idea to get this done this month. Don't want to go off the rails anymore. Done. Pinkies up if you're done with off the rails. Off the rails is just, why do we do that to ourselves? Man. Anyway, I'm so glad you're here. That's all I have to say about that. And also, the other thing that I have to say about that, Jennifer is in the house. She's doing it. This beauty support is flying out the door. And I have one word to say to you. We will not have any. I'm almost positive we will be out by tomorrow. I'm serious. So if you want beauty support, if you want this deal, which is buy 3 and get, you better jump on it. And this is not hyperbole. When we run out, we're going to run out, right? We got a big order in to our manufacturer for it, of course, to replace it, but we will not give you a rain check so that you can get the deal retroactively. It's whoever is here first gets it. Sorry, guys, but that's how it works. Hey, Jocelyn, I'm so glad you're here. Jocelyn, also a veteran hot melt 30er, doing a great job. So fun to have you here. Who else is here? Who else did I see? I saw some other people. Oh, good. Yeah, stay active. Oh, and I have something to share with you that I found it on TikTok, of course. I find all kinds of stuff on TikTok. It's just crazy application, by the way. Oh, savingdinner.com/show. I should tell you how to get directly there, right? Of course. Anyway, if you want that, just get there. Now, back to my other thing. Put your feet flat on the floor in front of you, okay? Just like, you're sitting. And then you take your feet and you just up and down your feet. Up and down your feet, like onto your toes, like you're, kind of doing calf exercises. This little exercise helps your blood sugar. It helps your heart rate. It helps your parasympathetic nervous system. Unbelievable. And you can sit there. You can just sit there and do hundreds of them without getting exhausted. Now, if you say to me, I get muscle cramps, then I have a word for you. Hot melt. Get your hot melt mix on. Cheers. Where's my Nancy? Where's my mother hen? Where is she? Anyway, that's what I have to say about you. So you learn all kinds of stuff there. So Solis, I can't remember what it is. It's the name of the muscle. Sorry, can't remember. But anyway, That's a fabulous little exercise to do. And it really shows, it helps your blood sugar levels big time, especially after a meal. So if you find yourself sitting on the couch, just start up and downing your little footsies. It's just so simple. What do you think? I love that idea. I think it's just so easy. And I'm just sitting here doing it myself because I'm just, you know, yeah, being a fidgeter burns calories. And this particular exercise, there's something about this particular one. I mean, you can fidget with your hands, you can fidget with your, people who shake their legs and stuff. It might be annoying to watch, but it does. Not only does it burn calories, but it revs your metabolism so that you become better metabolizer. So, I mean, I love stuff like that. Don't you? Okay. So that's what I have to tell you about that. The other thing that's so crazy and great, Patsy, I knew you'd be one of my first ones to do that. I knew it because I know you. That's how you operate. Let's just go. Let's get this done. So the other thing that I have to tell you about too is our Gorgeous Skin webinar. Now that is happening next Wednesday. I'm really excited about that because, it's high time we started talking about skin, and it's high time we started recognizing beauty at every age. We have a tendency to get wrinkles and think that we've lost our skin has lost its beauty. Not true. Wrinkles are wrinkles. We all have them. We all have wrinkles. So what? It's the texture of your skin that matters. It's the beauty of your skin that matters. You can still have beautiful skin and have wrinkles, by the way. Yes, ma'am, you can. We have them. You can still have beautiful skin. It's an inside job. And you also have to be very aware of what you put on your outside of your skin because there's so much garbage out there. A lot of it has endocrine disruptors in it. A lot of it, like some of it has some like lanolin and some other kinds of oils like mineral oil and what have you in it. Did you know that swallows up your oil soluble vitamins, so your vitamin D? Yeah, so we don't want to be doing that kind of stuff. We want to be very cognizant of what we're putting onto our skin. We're basically eating what we put on our skin. So keep that in mind. Anyway, how do you get signed up? savingdinner.com/gorgeous because you are gorgeous. Hey, Laura, glad you're here. And I love seeing people with their hashtags too, by the way. It just makes me so happy. Our little group on Facebook is lit up. I can hardly keep up. And I want to feel like that every single day, Human nature, we procrastinate. Should we talk about that today? You want to talk about it? This is the stuff. This is the stuff. We also have our journals, by the way. Don't forget about the journal. And our journal is like flying right now out the door as well. These journals help you to get 12-week goals accomplished. And boy, oh boy, you can get a lot done in 12 weeks if you really put your mind to it. There's also a way for you to completely retrain your brain simply and easily with 3 sentences. That is what this is all about. savingdinner.com/journal if you are interested. And there's the masterclass that goes with it, and you will get the replay for it. Oh, that's so good. I mean, we have to. Sandy is saying Fly Lady has helped you so much with procrastination. Procrastination is ugly. And it just sometimes it means putting off your life, and I'm not about that. So we want to talk about this. Procrastination comes in many different forms. So we're going to really get down to it. And by the way, if you've missed any, and let's go ahead and bring our lovely friends from TikTok on because we're going to go right into the material. This stuff's good, by the way. All about procrastination and just some ways to put your head around it. Welcome, by the way, to everybody over here on TikTok. And we're going to get busy right now. But if you missed any of the announcements, and you all did on TikTok, by the way, savingdinner.com/announcements. That's where everything is. I'm just letting you know so you get that. All right, procrastination. It's real, it's ugly, and it really it can suck out the juiciness of what your life could possibly be. So let's talk about this because it's really important. Okay, there's a Bible verse. Slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. You know, what's that talking about? A slack hand? What's a slack hand? Somebody who procrastinates and procrastinates and procrastinates, doesn't get it done. You can't get it done if you're just procrastinating. And so why is this? Well, I think that number one reason is the fear of failure. Well, if I'm not going to do it right? Not going to get it done. Or we just plain don't like or enjoy the thing that we're procrastinating about. Who here loves to clean toilets? I don't. Nobody loves to clean a toilet, but honestly, if we procrastinate, what happens if you never clean that toilet? Pretty disgusting. So we need to not, we need to not do that. We need to get in there and get the thing done. There is something that we can use to kind of counter this, and it's one of my favorite tips of all, especially when we're trying to create a new habit. And it's using James Clear, who wrote The Atomic Habits. He wrote, Amber says that she doesn't love to clean toilets. Why, Amber? But it's the 2-minute rule. So here's what James Clear says about that. The 2-minute rule is that any new habit that you're trying to create should only take you 2 minutes at the very beginning. So if you're trying to, for example, journal or meditate or read, these are the things that people tell me that they have the hardest time with, because, especially here in Take Back Your Life journal, one of the things that we have in there is starting a morning ritual. And part of the morning ritual is the self-care of meditation, journaling, and all of the things that we know that research has shown us creates a better outcome for the way you want to live your life. But people procrastinate. They get a little bit worried about it and they don't want to do it, or whatever the thing is about it. But what if you used a 2-minute rule? 2 minutes of meditation, 2 minutes of writing in your journal, even if you're just writing blah, blah, blah. I mean, at least you are doing something about it. And then maybe 2 minutes too of, whatever else that you need to do. Reading. So what does that mean? It means a page of a book. And then you say, oh, but that's ridiculous. I'm not going to get anything done. Okay, but at least you did that one page, and congratulate yourself and move to the next thing. Congratulating yourself, by the way, and high-fiving yourself is one of the best ways that you can get to the place of actually having a reward system in place. And that reward system in place, that moves the needle. It makes you say, okay, I'm going to do this, even if it seems ridiculous, right? But that's how it is. To change procrastination, there's got to be a structure, though, around it. There really has. You can't just say, oh, I'm, complaining about, oh, I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired of not doing and this, that, and the other thing. No, don't do that. You need to put a structure in place. But before we even discuss the structure and patterns that we have of procrastination, let's look at what kind of procrastinations there are, because there's 3 types. Did you know that? 3 types of procrastinators. One is the delayers. They put it off and they put it off and they put it off till at the very last minute. It's just got to get done, or something's going to happen. Or 2, there's the perfectionists, and we know what that looks like, right? Where you just, if it's not going to get it done right, then don't do it at all, right? How many times have you said that? I'll admit it. Or you're 100% ADHD, all over the place, distracted, just distracted to whatever. But the thing is, and this is what the research tells us, that there's patterns of powerlessness that lead to procrastination. Patterns of powerlessness. So I've got 2 different things for you. The now, okay, this is where we are, the now, right? And then on the other hand, we have the treatment. This is where you might be right now. And here's the treatment for you. That's the teenager in me. All right. Oh my gosh. Don't you remember when you were a teenager? My word. When we were teenagers, didn't we put things off? Mm-hmm. We did. So right now, maybe there's part of the pattern of powerlessness that comes with procrastination is a negative self-worth. Could be negative self-worth. And what is the anecdote to that? Well, self-respect. The same with denigrating oneself. How often do we put ourselves down? How often are we saying, I'm just no good at that. I can't do that. Or I'm terrible at that. How often have we said those things and just put it down and put it down and put it down? Well, self-respect, again, back in that same place. The other thing is being highly self-conscious. So self-conscious that we're just like afraid everyone's looking at us and judging us, right? But you know what? You know what the antidote for that is? Self-confidence. And I have a secret for you about self-confidence. Self-confidence is not going to come knocking at your door. Self-confidence isn't going to just show up for you. You have to do something and earn the self-confidence. It comes after doing something, stepping out of your comfort zone and doing it anyway. That's how that all works. And then there's the other thing of comparing. And when you have that whole thing of you're a comparer and you're saying, yeah, well, she's got it so much easier than I do. And she has this and she has that. You know what happens? You know, comparison is the thief of joy. We all know that as well. But there are strategies to improve. If we look instead of stop with the comparison and going instead and start going, okay, so what strategy, what can I use? What can I do in order to improve this particular situation or this procrastination or whatever? That is really important. And then the other one is a lack of self-control. Like you're just gonna, forget about it. I'm just gonna, put my face in this bag of chips or something. And there's the anecdote for that one. The treatment for that is personal efficacy. In other words, you look at yourself and you start making a bit of a inventory sheet and just say, is this really what I want? Is this really where I want to go with that? And usually the answer to that is no. It's really no, because how many times are we unconsciously falling into these patterns of powerlessness and then procrastinating away our lives? It's kind of weird, huh? But there are 7 fixes, and I've got them for you. Are you ready? 7 fixes to get procrastination behind us. Because procrastination, remember this, it can rob you of the life that you want to lead. Absolutely rob you blind and make it so that you're having a lot of regrets, a lot of looking back on and saying, wow, I missed the boat on that one, right? So number 1 is, you ready to hear it? Number 1 is brutal honesty. Part of the problem with procrastination is we talk ourselves out of doing something because we don't think that we have whatever it is that we need in order to do it. When in fact, that's just simply not true. What we need to do is come to the line here, take a look at what's going on in our lives, make an assessment and say, you know what? No, sir. No, ma'am. Not anymore. This is what's going on. What I'm doing here is X, Y, and Z instead of making excuses, because we make all the excuses in the world, and those excuses are going to take us down and keep us in this procrastination pattern. So brutal honesty, number 1. Do you have the guts to be brutally honest with yourself? That's not putting yourself down, by the way. It's just talking about straight up facts. What's going on here? And that's the thing that you're calling yourself out, and you don't need to beat yourself up. Just call yourself out. Number 1. Number 2, stop the guilt and just say, okay, what can I do now instead? You know what I do? My first go-to thing is make a to-do list. Make a brain dump of everything that I need to do. And then I categorize it and sort it out and say, okay, I'm going to just start on this thing. Because starting sometimes is the hardest thing. It is the hardest thing. But I will tell you what, if you just say, enough is enough, don't you get sick of your own excuses? I do. I get sick. I'm just like, Leanne, come on, stop it already. Enough is enough. And you're the one who needs to make that determination when enough is enough. But procrastination, again, if you just keep thinking about what it does to you, to your life, to the ones around you, and how it takes from you, it does. It takes from you. It robs you of your vibrancy. because you cannot procrastinate away your life and have vibrancy. You can't. You got to get things done. You got to have goals. You got to move the needle. You got to step it up. And you can't do that. So if we're going to do this, what we're going to do is stop the guilt, hold it, complete full stop. Stop the guilt. Okay, that happened, but what do we do now? What can we do now? Make that list. Make that list, right? And then sort it by priorities. And then sort it by what is important. And sort it with the things that are going to make the most impact. And that's the whole thing. I'll give you an example. For example, I'll tell you, this is an honest to God true story. I had a girlfriend who years ago, and she used to tell this story in her church and everything. But she kind of grew up privileged, shall we say. Never had to clean, never. There was always somebody else who did it. And here she was, 3 little kids. I had 2 little kids, and we were friends. And I walked into her house. There was mountains of laundry, everything. They had a nanny and a housekeeper and all of that. And financially, things had taken a turn, shall we say. And so here she was, completely overwhelmed. And so instead of cleaning things up and starting laundry and whatever, she went and started cleaning her closet out because it was a mess. And I was like, no, ma'am. First of all, we're going to start a load of laundry, and then we're going to get your bathroom clean. And she started throwing Comet all over the floor. And I was like, no, stop. I went and got the vacuum cleaner, and I taught her how to clean a bathroom. This is the whole thing. We have to have eyes to see where the priorities are. We start with the big things. It's like that jar that I've talked about before. You have that big old jar, and you want to see how your priorities get sorted, and you want to get as much as you can into that jar. Well, you put those boulders in first, then the rocks, then you put the sand, right? And then you can even put water in afterwards. But if you start with water, you know what happens? Those rocks, you're not going to be able to get those rocks in. You're not going to be able to get that sand in. You're not going to be able to do it the way you need to. Start with the big stuff first. That's how it works. Number 3, change how you describe yourself and your world. Now, hear me. I know that there's someone here who needs to hear this. Stop describing yourself as incompetent. Now, maybe don't go around and say, I'm incompetent, but maybe say, I don't have the ability. I don't have the capability to do that. I'm just not talented that way. I'm not creative. You know how many people I've heard say this over the years? All these words of just putting yourself down just a little bit, just take it down a notch and a notch and a notch. When you do this, your brain is listening to you 100% of the time and saying, okay, yeah, I guess you are, And then there's going to be something that's going to reinforce it, because this is what you're telling the world that you're about. And it's simply not true. And that's why we procrastinate too, because we feel like we don't have the capability to do anything. We've painted ourselves into a corner. And I'll tell you, if you change how you describe yourself and you start saying, I'm capable, I'm competent, I haven't figured this out yet, but I will. Can you imagine? Watch me do this. The transformation will come. And when you start talking about your world around you in the same way, boy, oh boy, does it get better and better and better. Doesn't it? I know it does. It's true. The other number 4 fix is optimism. I know that just sounds kind of dumb, maybe, but optimism shines a big shiny light on everything and makes everybody feel better. And a smile changes your chemical makeup and the hormones that you are, pushing out of your body. Doesn't that just sound a whole lot better than walking around with a big grimace on your face and want complaining? And you remember what complaining does to your brain, right? It shrinks your brain. Do you want a shrunken brain? I don't. I need every brain cell I can muster, y'all. Don't you? Let's start working on some optimism and smiling a little bit more, and watch how the whole world will smile with you. You know that song? Number 5 is goals. When you have no goals, you are tetherless. You're just taking up space, you know? Have a goal. What's your goal? What do you want in this world? What do you want to have? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? Those kind of things are important. And when you figure out that kind of stuff and figure out exactly what it is that you want, you can set a goal and you can go after it. Because what is a goal except, a deadline, getting results on a deadline? That's what it is. And you can do it. Every single person on this planet can do goals. They don't have to be overwhelming. They can be easy. And again, I'm going to plug it again. Take Back Your Life Journal. There's a masterclass that goes with it, and it's going to show you what to do in 12 weeks and make your goals into just 3 sentences that you write out every single day and completely change the neural pathways of your brain. Don't forget, savingdinner.com/journal. And every single journal that I send out is always personalized to the person who's getting it. Because I want you to know that I see you. I get it. And that's why I created this system, by the way. I believe with all of my heart that goals will change the entire trajectory of your life. You won't just take up space anymore. You will become the woman of your own dreams. Period. What about that? I love that. And number 6, have rewards in place for even the smallest steps. Like I said, that high-fiving yourself, that is just giving yourself a little tiny dopamine hit. Also, besides giving yourself a little dopamine hit, you know what else you're going to want to do? You're also going to want to give yourself a little bit of something, like give yourself a little extra time to, kick back and have some tea time, or spend some time on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook, just a little extra social media time or whatever. Give yourself that little reward for doing and following through. It makes you feel so good, doesn't it? It makes you feel so good. And number 7 is to show it off. I'm serious. Show it off. You lost 30 pounds? I want to see it. Show me your pictures. I want to congratulate you. That's not going to make me feel bad. That's going to make me want to congratulate you, right? Of course. Pictures, posts, and be accountable. If you have a pile of clothes that have been sitting on a chair in your bedroom for 2 weeks and you want to get rid of it, take a picture of it, send it to a friend, that you've made a mutual accountability with, and say, I want to be done with this procrastination. This is my big ugly pile, right? And when you do this, do you know what's going to happen? You're going to see a change in your whole demeanor, and you're going to see an excitement show up instead of a dread. And when that excitement shows up, the real you is coming out. The real authentic, beautiful you is coming out at last. Not the one that's masquerading behind all of the procrastination, the put downs and the excuses and the rationalizations and the whatevers. The real, true, authentic you will shine. And that's what this is all about. We want to be those women. We want to live life in full bloom. We want to live life in a way that shines a light on others and brings them along. You are that woman. And that is your mission in this life. You ready to do it? You ready to shine your light? I know you are. And you need to, because the fact of the matter is you're here on purpose and for purpose. Fearfully and wonderfully made. The apple of God's very eye. And what a privilege it is to be in your company. I appreciate you so much. And I thank you for showing up. And all of you on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, you are a part of my community and a part of my life. And I appreciate you all. Love you. Thank you. And if you have anything, questions for me, or if you have any stumbling places, let me know about it. Send me an email to support@savingdinner.com. I'm there for you. You know that. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.